Hi, welcome to another Relate Well moment with Dr. Rick Marks. Relate Well is our process to teach anybody, anyone with any relationship status, single, dating, married, wanting to date, the skills and principles for healthy relations. We teach communication skills, emotional regulation skills. We teach you how to bond emotionally. And most importantly, we teach you how to emotionally regulate your brain so that conflict doesn't destroy what we call the us, that us can survive in the midst of conflict. If you want to learn more about the Relate Well process, because you can learn it in your own home, you can learn it in your home. I teach you the whole thing. Here is the manual. This is core to what we do in our world, but we teach the Relate Well process online at relatewell.us. That's relatewell.us. And if you want to learn more about me and our work or my work, just go to Dr. Rick Marks, RickMarks. That's drrickmarks.com. drrickmarks.com. What can we learn from geese? You've probably read this before in different places, and if it is, you can feel free to tune out now. If not, let's learn some things about geese flying as we relate that back to family and organizations, all right? Now, we all know that geese are out there. I learned something here just recently. In my area of the country, I'm from Florida, there are these gas stations going up all over. Everyone loves them. They're called Wawa, right? And Wawa symbol is a geese. It's actually a geese. And I always assumed Wawa was, a geese sound, Wawa. And I know, it's pretty bad, an impersonation of geese. But you get the point. So anyways, I actually was talking to a store owner about how they came up with the idea of a geese, and then she said to me, well, actually, Wawa has nothing to do with the geese. It comes from Wawa, Pennsylvania. I went, huh? And apparently, Wawa started in Wawa, Pennsylvania, which I believe at the time was a mining town, and it was serving the local miners, and it just grew from there to what we see today. I thought that was interesting. Relationships need to operate in a certain way for them to be healthy and functional and mature. And we're going to take a look at 5 facts about geese when they're flying and make those applications to our life and relationships. Fact number one, and we're going to read these here, and then we'll talk about the lesson we can learn from it. As each goose flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the birds that follow. So here's one. Each one creates an uplift draft. By flying in a V formation, the whole flock adds, listen to this, 71% greater flying range than if they each flew alone. Fascinating, huh? What can we learn from that? Here's a lesson. People, families, groups who share a common direction and a sense of community can get where they're going quicker and easier because they're actually traveling on the thrust of each other. We're inspiring each other. We're working together as one. There's a strong us to it. We can do more when we feel like we're in us than we can when we feel like we're alone. There's encouragement, there's support, there's security. All of those things happen when we're moving together, so we can ride on each other's emotional energy, each other's encouragement. The idea is the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Fact number 2, when a goose falls out of formation, though, it'll start to feel the drag and the resistance of flying alone. So when it falls out of the V formation, it starts to feel drag. It feels the pressure of the wind. It feels what it's like to be alone. It feels all that pressure. When it goes back into formation, it benefits from the lifting power of the ones in front of it. If a goose can figure out that it needs others and it really shouldn't operate alone, then what we can learn from that is that if we're willing to accept the help and support and encouragement of others, we can get along better in life. We can be healthier. We can have greater relations. We can go farther. We can move along better. Sadly, many of us like to try and live life alone. We like to try to solve problems alone. We'd like to do things without other people's help. and they feel the drag of life and the burden of life. We weren't created to live life alone. It is not good to be alone, and that has nothing to do with marriage in that Genesis 2:18 verse, because you can be married and very much alone. The aloneness has to do with how God made humans to bond, connect. We are created for intimacy, connection to God, self, and others. Think great commandment. We're not meant to live life alone. So when we come into community and we work with each other, then we can go farther. We heal stronger. We heal better. We can create greater momentum and greater energy to move farther down the road than if you try to do it alone. Fact number 3 about geese. When the geese that's up front of the V formation, when it begins to gets tired, does it just drop off and go away? No, what it does, it's out here at front like a point man, and when it's tired because it takes the bulk of the drag, it steps back, another one takes that place, and it falls back, and it benefits from the drag of others. What's the lesson? It pays to pay attention that we need shared leadership. We cannot do everything on our own. We must look to others to help us, to help us get where we need to be. You cannot heal on your own. We heal in relationships. You cannot achieve on your own. You need other people to help you achieve, because people have gifts and abilities and talents that you don't have. And a good leader understands there are times that I need to step back and let that person step out and take the lead and use their skills and abilities and those kinds of things. You see, people are interdependent. If you want to operate independent, feel free, but you're going to feel the drag of life. We're actually created for interdependence. We need each other, and we grow and we're stronger as we relate to each other. And we use each other's capabilities and talents. Fact number 4, the geese flying in formation, the ones in the back, why are they honking? They're honking, right? Wah, wah. What are they doing? They're encouraging the ones up front. Keep going. You got this. You can do it. We believe in you. You the man. You the woman. We need to make sure that when we honk, our honking is encouraging. It's not discouraging. It's not critical. It's not negative. But we honk to encourage those in front of us. We honk to encourage each other. In other words, where there is encouragement, production is greater. The power to encourage means we come alongside when someone's discouraged and we lift them up. We bear the burdens with them, Galatians 6:2. We mourn with them. We comfort them. Why? You can do it. You can do it. You can make it. You know, the goal is not to finish the race perfectly. The goal is to finish the race. You know, what is a failure? A failure, very simply, is a person that quits and gives up. If you fall down, okay, you fell down, so what? We get to come alongside and honk, say, look, get up, come on, let's keep moving. The goal is to cross the finish line. If you cross the finish line bruised, so what? You finished. That's all that matters. We need others to encourage us, to appreciate us, to approve of us, to motivate us, because sometimes we get weary in well-doing, don't we? And lastly, when a goose gets sick, when it's wounded, when it's shot down, what happens is 2 geese will drop out of formation and follow that wounded one down to help protect it. And then they stay with it until it's able to fly again or until it dies. Then what they do, they launch out with another formation, or they go catch up with the flock. Jesus left the one. Jesus left the 99 to go after the one. Jesus wouldn't search for the one because he knew the 99 could take care of themselves. Sadly, when we see people drop out, we go, no, we got to stay with the group. And yet Jesus drops out like other geese do to stay with the one. You know, when that one that is hurt or wounded, we're not meant to walk life alone. And we're hurt and wounded, we feel so alone. And there's 59 one another verses in the New Testament. And those 59 one another new verses in the New Testament have nothing to do with theology. It's just so that we won't live life alone. We're to love one another, and comfort one another, encourage one another. We're to support one another and approve of one another. We mourn with those that mourn and rejoice with those that rejoice. Why? So you're not mourning or rejoicing alone. Geese understand this. They don't abandon. They don't reject. They don't throw things aside. To drop out and go with the wounded one, to support them, to encourage them, to be there, to comfort. May it be that in our relationships and our organizations, we learn from the geese so that our health, our relationships are strong, healthy, thriving, so we all can relate well. This is Dr. Rick Marks. Thank you for tuning in to this Relate Well moment. May you have a great day. If you want to learn more about us, again, go to drrickmarks.com or more about the Relate Well process, relatewell.us. That's relatewell.us. Look up the core program there. If you're a therapist, we have a place for you to go in the clinical program. If you're a faith-based place, organization, you would like to learn about how we work with churches, please do that. And if you're a business leader out there, and we do teach emotional wellness and leadership in business as well. Have a great day. Bye-bye.